So will I start talking as soon as you press live?
Yeah, we are live.
We're live now?
Yeah.
Okay, right, so here we go then. So, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 4 of the ACC Potato Nation Multi-Class Championship here at the world-renowned Kyalami circuit. As usual, my name is Stuart Breers, your commentator for this evening. Joining me is race director and my good friend Stephen Mullen.
Hello guys, and welcome to tonight's race at Kyalami. Thanks Stuart, and it's great to have you back as well. Looking forward to it. And what's your thoughts for tonight?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this race because Kyalami is definitely a really good circuit to be racing around, because it's also a favorite among Formula 1 drivers back when this circuit used to host the South African GP back in the early 60s to the late 90s.
Oh, good stuff. Circuit now, I wouldn't have thought I'd ever race, but it's a good circuit, full of interesting twists and turns and some tricky sectors, and it should open for some good racing.
It is indeed there. It's very popular among GT racing. Since its inauguration of the 9-hour Kyalami race that was first hosted back in 2019 by the Intercontinental GT Challenge here, where they compete, where the majority of GT3 and GT4 cars, I think, participate in that race. And they've been participating a lot more frequently, from then.
Yeah, I'm hoping for some mixed multi-class racing here tonight with the GT3 and GT4 cars. Some big names racing tonight to get. Oh, there's a wee bit of a ding there into the wall there early doors. We're only in free practice here anyway, so just about to start quality.
That was Stephen Baines in the new Ferrari 296 there, going for a little spin there. Ash.
Yeah, we'll get a wee replay here at it, look.
Yeah, this is coming out of barbecue here. Oh, he just caught the artificial grass, and he just spun off and just hit the barrier there. Unfortunate being that crash, but luckily though this is practice, so there's no consequences as to what happens if you crash in practice. So before we start, I just want to give a big shout out to Sky, who covered for me 2 weeks ago during the Monza race. I wasn't around at the time because I was away in Brands Hatch for the Fanatec GT3 Sprint Racing Series for the first round of the championship, and I was there with my father, which was his little birthday present that I got especially for him.
Nice. That sounds like a good birthday present, all right. Just checking.
It is indeed. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say there we're just waiting on qualifying to start here, but going ahead there. Yeah, so how old's your father, or whose birthday was it there?
It was actually my father's birthday, but it was his birthday present that I got for him, and we were both big fans of Brands Hatch. It's mine and my father's favorite circuit in the UK, just for its hilly, just for its elevation, its interesting turns, and just for overall the personality of the circuit too. And it'd be great as well if Potato Nation got to host a non-championship race there at the end of the season. Just one non-championship race, just one. Just for me, Sydney, if you're listening to this, just one non-championship race there if you can.
Fantastic, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Silverstone's a great circuit. Like, I love it. It's got a bit of character, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. I mean, I respect Silverstone for what it is. It's it's hosted the first ever Formula 1 Grand Prix there, if my knowledge serves me correctly, and it was used originally as an RAF base as well.
Yeah, that was during the World War, wasn't it?
Yeah, anyway. It was back during the second. Yeah, well, here we're on qualifying here now, as we're on board with a new name here now. We're on board here now. I'm sorry, I'm having a little trouble seeing the name there, but
it's Delamere.
Delamere, yeah, it's Delamere. He's a new name to Potato Nation. I've never seen him race before, but I heard that he raced here at Monza. That's correct.
I don't think he did. You know, it's 2 weeks ago, so my memory wouldn't be great. But I don't recall him racing. So he might be a new driver. I seen a guy putting in a message to the Discord chat today, wondering if he could join. But so he could be maybe a new face for the Potato Nation.
Go ahead.
We could maybe jump on here and get a wee lap coming for the qualifying here, just to start lap 1 here.
Yeah, so I'll talk through I'll talk through the lap bit. So Kyalami, a circuit that's that's the main motorsport venue in South Africa. So here we come there now. We're heading up towards turn 2 up in Crowthorne. You want to stay to the right here now, break the 100-meter board, and then just keep the car as close to the curb as you can. Make sure to keep the car in the middle here now as you prepare yourself for turns 4 and 5 at the barbecue. Keeping it in the middle of the circuit there now. You want to clip the apex there, and you just want to get back on the power enough to set yourself up for turn 6 at sunset. You can take the circuit flat now. You don't need too much brake here. A little down with the brake there now, and just keep it in 4th gear, and you're able to maintain momentum coming out of the circuit. Into turn 7 here now, and you can go, and you just want to keep it in the middle there now and drive it out wide, so you can set yourself up for turn 8 and 9 at the S's. Make sure to keep it in the middle of the track there now. Keep it in the middle of the track, and you're heading up towards turn 10 at Liku. You want to stay wide here because this is a sharp left-hander hairpin, and it's a double left-hander. So you'll be make sure to set yourself up for turn 12 and 13, which is a fast sweeping left-hander, along with a right-hander there, and then towards turn 15 at Cheetah. Stay wide, stay to the left here now, and you want to set yourself up enough so that way you can keep the car planted to the curb. Depending on what you can get away with here now, if you have a car that's front-ended, you might be able to get a lot of traction out of that corner. Coming up towards the final hairpin now at turn 16. Power down now, head towards the start-finish line. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a lap around Kyalami.
Thanks, Stuart. That's fantastic. Giving us a lap of Kyalami there. There's some tricky corners, and some of you need to keep a good speed flow through it, and get the power down as early as you can on the M straights, because that big start-finish straight there. There's room there to get in a good slipstream and get a good break down into T1, hard on the brakes, and maybe you can get up the inside of someone.
There is, yeah, and this circuit hosts a lot of history there to it. This circuit was first opened in November of 1961, and is the centre for motor racing in South Africa. It's hosted F1 racing in the past from 1967 up until 1993, which was a huge favourite among F1 teams and drivers, with a notable race being the 1976 Grand Prix when Niki Lauda and James Hunt crossed the line just 1.3 seconds apart. It's hosted many other events since then, including, as mentioned before, the Intercontinental GT Challenge for the 9-hour race, hosted here nearly every year up until 2019, along with the World Superbike Championship from 1998 up until 2010. The circuit has gone through many changes over the years, facing political tension within the country to modify the circuit for more safer racing, with the most recent change being the total corner, which was originally a shallow left-hander before extending the straight and becoming a tighter turn along with the chicane.
Great stuff, and just as 1 or 2 laps done now in qualifying, and Gunther de Paul sitting in pole at the minute with a 142 dead, and Stephen Krall in P2 with just 1 second off the pace there, and Alex Milchin in P3 is 0.1 behind P2, so the leaders are pretty neck and neck there. Gunther de Paul a second ahead of the guys, so this Ferrari seems to be doing a lot of wonders.
Yeah, it seems like that Ferrari 296 is very dominant. It's also pretty dominant in the real life as well, as that car also took victory at the 24 hours of the Nürburgring race recently too.
Yeah, I watched that race. It was very, very good. Well, not the whole race, obviously, but I did catch the last maybe 3 hours of the race, and yeah, it was something else. Now the BMW done well as well, but my favourite Dan Harper, he had to pull out with a mechanical issue with his BMW M4, but it is what it is. But this Ferrari looks to be the bee's knees, you know, and it could be the new standard
new
set.
go-to car.
Yeah. In GT3.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like this Ferrari is really setting the benchmark for GT3 racing. It's good to see Ferrari as well finally getting some success in the motorsport world after being in a drought for a long time with very little wins and very little championships under their belt. But it's good to see Ferrari finally getting back, extending their vision to other forms of motorsport, with their also recent success being also in the World Endurance Championship.
Yeah, Ian May in P4 there. He's in the Aston Martin, and I think he's the only man in there with one of the older cars. And it's shocking to say the older car, but like most of the other guys in GT3 are driving the new Ferrari or the new Porsche.
Yeah, it seems like Ian May is the only one who's trying to stand the test of time with that Aston Martin. So it'll be interesting to see if that Aston Martin will still have takes there to keep up with the newer Porsche and the newer Ferrari there for going into this race this evening.
And how good does that Aston Martin sound?
Oh yes, I've listened to that. I listened to Aston Martin back in Brands Hatch, and honestly, it was I've driven the Aston Martin a couple of times in ACC, and honestly, it's a gorgeous car to drive. It's a gorgeous car to listen to when you really get to when you're behind the wheel of the car, especially.
Yeah, and Steve Kirk joined us in the chat there on YouTube saying, hi all. Steve, best of luck for your qualifying. It'll be starting shortly. I hope you got the car ready to go and give it your all.
Yeah, well, we're seeing you all the best up here in the commentary box there, Steve Kirk. And we'll be watching you from the commentary box as well. So we look forward to seeing you. We look forward to seeing you have great success here in this race this evening.
Yeah, Ian May taking a wee shortcut over the curb there.
Yeah, he's decided his Aston Martin's going to turn into a rally car there. Oh, as he goes a bit slightly wide there, and is that going to affect his lap time, or will he be maintaining his position 5th place?
Don't know. He might be able to get one more lap in if so the guys in GT3 get 10 minutes qualifying. So this could be their final lap. Who knows?
And here comes Ian May there coming around the final corner here now. And whereabouts will that put him in the standings? He's currently P5. Where does the lap time put him? He keeps the place. He remains in P5 here behind the car there, currently running in P4. Oh, Deckard, excuse me. Behind Deckard's there in P4 in the Ferrari 296. So with 10 minutes left of qualifying, we're riding on board with Deckard's there up by turn 10, heading down now towards the mine shaft and crocodiles.
Yeah, this is their laps. This is their final laps now. The GT3 cars, the GT4 cars will be already out on their warm-up lap, and them guys don't have tire warmers, so they will be maybe taking a lap or two to get their tires up to temp, and then really going for it.
Yeah. So we're just at the end. So we're just there at the end of GT3 qualifying. We'll be looking forward there to GT4 qualifying.
Let's see if Stephen Baines can do anything here.
Yeah, and there's Deckard's there now. He crossed the line, but he's he's down to 5th place, and Stephen Baines is currently now in P4 there at the end of the GT3 qualifying.
On board now,
so
Herbert.
Herbert Frosco there now, back in the Ginetta. He's had somewhat success in the GT4 class, so let's see if he'll be able to maintain that success going into this race.
Oh, these guys had some ding dust there 2 weeks ago at Monza. Nigel O'Brien, Ashim, Stokes, Chris Willis, Fauchel, Dean Power had a great race as well. As I see, he's just joined, but he's in time anyway because these boys are only getting out for qualifying. We had Ryan Ware last week. I don't think he can make tonight's race, and I don't think John McDonald can make tonight's race either. So a few guys had other commitments, as the Potato Nation always says, family first, guys. And whenever you can race, you race, and it's always great to have you. And I'm looking forward to these GT4 cars. There's some battles going on.
Yeah, these GT4 cars have put up some notorious battles in the past, including the famous one where Herbert Foskell and Ryan Ware battled each other in Silverstone, where we got to witness a classic European sports car and American muscle car battle at Silverstone, which is honestly really good to see.
It was a proper ding duster, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good. It was really good watching the big hunky muscle car of Ryan Ware's Chevrolet go toe to toe with a little European sports car, and honestly that produced a cracking battle. It was great getting to see different cars of different aspects pit against their own wits and seeing how they do against each other.
And now we'll just jump on board with Nigel O'Brien and his wee Alpine, the wee Renault.
Yeah, and there's Nigel O'Brien there now, still having much fun in the GT4 class after he dominated the Silverstone victory in the Ferrari 296, which obviously as you can tell by the interview, he wasn't really pleased by. He thought he wanted a bit more of a challenge.
Nigel's one of the quickest guys on ACC, I have to say. He's brilliant.
He is, yeah. His skill is once he's in the zone, his skill is phenomenal here in ACC.
Yeah.
You can genuinely tell that someone like him has practiced a lot on ACC. So you can tell that he knows his stuff when he comes to racing in the sim.
And you can even see Ashim here. He's just right on Nigel O'Brien's back door, or should I say boot. He's really personal. He's maybe hoping to get a good slipstream and get a good extra maybe tenths in his qualifying lap, or maybe slowing down here to get a good run for. Yep, that's what he's doing. I think we should go on board to watch Ashim do a lap in the GT4 and the Ginetta. Yes, get on board.
I think we should indeed there, Steve. So here he is.
He's pulled over. We'll have to go with someone else.
Yeah, we'll have to go with someone else there now. So here, I think this is
Stokes.
Oh, it's Stokes. It's Lee Stokes there now in the big hunky Mercedes there.
Yeah, let's jump on over. Yeah, let's go.
Yep. So here he is. He's just about to come. He's just now head up towards turn 1 there. Now he's keeping it to the right hand side at turn 1, head towards turns 2 and 3. Oh, he clips the apex there nicely, and he runs out wide. Down here is Stokes there. He's just gotta keep it. He's just gotta keep it to the right hand side, and
he's a bit of sliding there.
A little bit of sliding there now, but Stokes is holding his ground. You can tell that the sheer determination of that Mercedes. He is doing whatever he can to get the best lap possible and get out of last place.
Yeah, that's nice. He took that corner really well. He's looking for the 50 here, late on the brakes, and he gets the apex.
Turn 7 in. Yeah, he's exiting out clubhouse there now. Runs a little bit wide to clip the apex. End up towards the S's here, and he's taking massive amounts of curve out of that. Yeah,
maybe he's got this car well set up to handle these curves, because them curves can really throw the car if you're in GT3, but
it seems like the GT4 cars absolutely love these high curves, which just genuine, which is really good to see that you can throw these cars around the high curve and still be able to keep going no matter what.
Stuart, I don't know about you, but this is looking like a banger lap here. I think it's going to be a quick one.
I think so too. I think Stokes might have this one in the bag. I reckon he could get about it. He's gone slightly wide. That's going to cost him slightly. But will he be able to get a good lap out of this? I reckon he could get about 5th or 6th, 6th or 5th in GT4 class. Here he comes around the final corner here now. Clips the apex. And here we go. And he runs. And he lets the car slide out there nicely. Where does it put him there? He maintains his position. Oh no, actually he's more than 2nd place. He's P2 behind Foskell. Unbelievable stuff there.
Fantastic stuff there. I knew really he was on a heater, but I think that apex cost him maybe a few tenths, like, so we might stay on board here and watch this lap as well, and see how it goes. But if he makes a mistake, we'll cut to somebody else, sure.
Yeah, but it seems like Stokes there, he is on fire here now in qualifying. That Mercedes is handled is in good hands there now with somebody like Stokes. You could tell that he's used that Mercedes to that car's full potential.
Oh, he's really ringing the neck of this Mercedes, and it sounds fantastic. It likes to be thrashed around, I think.
Yeah, you can definitely tell by how this Mercedes is taking the corners. It is really loving the driving that Stokes is driving. How Stokes is driving that car.
Yeah, I think he made it hard to get off the throttle there, but he's able to keep her pinned here. Hard on the brakes now.
Hard on the brakes there now, coming into turn 10 at this left-hander here.
Oh,
as he leaves this.
Class.
Yeah, oh, he's taking that corner absolutely beautiful out of turn 11. And now here he goes, heading towards the chicane of turns 12 and 13. Oh, he runs a bit out wide slightly there, but overall, I think the snap could be good enough for Paul here. Oh, he's taking that corner beautifully there. Yeah, I think he's got this one in the bag. I reckon he'll be able to take first P1.
Here we go.
Let's find out. See.
Let's see.
Here we go. This is it. Does he take P1?
No.
No. He said P2. He said P2. Great stuff there from Stokes. He put up a phenomenal effort here to get from last on the GT4 category to up to second in one lap.
Yeah, just really a half a second off the pole. And now on board with Chris Willis and the wee McLaren.
Yep, Chris Willis there in the McLaren heading up towards turn 6 and 7 there. He's currently running in P5, I believe. That's in P5 in GT4. So, what will he be able to do from this position? Will he be able to make up some places, or will he be able to get one more lap in there as well and really show his true character?
Yeah, we have just over 1 minute left at qualifying, but these guys across the line before the zero to get to do that lap.
Yep. So they'll be able to do one more lap there at the end of this lap, because the clock still hasn't hit zero yet. So it'll be really cool it'll be really interesting to see if Chris Willis will be able to make up some positions at the end of this qualifying. So here we go, 40 seconds left of the clock there now. Willis comes around turn 13 at Crocodiles up towards turn 15 at Cheetah. So we'll be really. So here he comes now around the final corner here now. To start the final lap. Hopefully we can ride on board with him here now for this for his final lap. Oh, he's pulling over. He's pulling to the side. Is that it?
Yeah, he's on the brakes. Over. But we'll cut till Ashim. I believe Ashim has got pole.
Yeah, I think it's safe to assume that Ashim in the Ganesha will take pole position in GT4. And there is the clock hit zero. That's it. He's got pole position. So Ashim takes pole position. Unless
Herbert Foschel is still on track. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Let's not forget about Herbert Foschel there. He's just coming around the bend at turn 7 up towards turn 8. So we'll be interested to see how Foschel can hold his own against the other Ganesha there. Heading up towards turns 10 and 11.
Yeah, only a couple of corners to go for Foschel here.
Turns 12 and 13 there. Now it's going to be crucial. Oh, he takes a massive chunk of the apex there. Coming
so
up towards
wide
turn
on that entry into that. Used a whole of the track.
Indeed, and he missed it. He missed the chicane. He missed the apex there slightly, but hopefully that might cost him a few seconds. But it shouldn't cost him too much there now. Coming around the final corner there now. Where does Fosco go? Does he stay in second place ahead of Stokes? No, he stays in second place.
Stays in second, yeah.
Yep, there it is. So it's a Janessa 1-2 in GT4. So at the end of that qualifying there, let's go over the results. For GT3, Go to DePaul takes pole position with the Wiz Motorsports crowd, with the Wiz kids, have the top three locked down for this race. We have Stephen Baines there in fourth place. Dekar is currently in fifth. Ian May is sixth. Eric Courier is seventh, and the newcomer Delamara in eighth place in the GT3 category. Looking at GT4, we have the two Janettas of Ashame and Froskel having P1 and P2 at lockdown, with Stokes in third place, Nigel O'Brien's in fourth, Chriswell's fifth, Power sixth, and with Stephen Kirk rounding up the entire grid, with the two Alpines holding down fourth and seventh place in the GT4 category.
Yeah,
so
it's going to be a banger.
Yeah, so as you can see here, Wiz Motorsports once again dominating the championship again with Gunter DePaul, Steve Carl, and Alex Milchin there holding down, having the top three locked down. So it's two Ferraris having first and second locked in, with the Porsche of Alexander Milchin there in third place. So it'd be really interesting to see if the Wiz Motorsports guys will have any competition on their hands, or are they going to run away with this one?
Yeah, it's going to be a banger. We've got Ashim and Foshel. I think these boys are going to be neck and neck. Stokes is there in the Merc. He reckons it's a Janetta circuit, but no, I don't know. That Merc looked like it was doing the business there in the GT4 class. Nigel O'Brien, he'll be maybe thinking, why did he go back to GT4? But at least he'll have a battle on his hands, trying to keep Chris Willis off his heels.
Yeah, a shout out there to Lokilo Gaming. I think that's Stokes there.
Yeah.
That's mentioned. He says there that it's definitely a Janetta track, but let's not count him out there, because that Mercedes there looks like it's on the pace there for Kyalami. So it looks like that Mercedes will be able to hold its own against the two Janettas.
Yeah. And let's talk a bit about the GT3. We've got EMA here as well. You know, this Aston Martin, it can move, but he has his work cut out with Dackers and Baines in front of him. And then you've got the three Wiz kids up ahead, and I'm sure Rafa Scullion is buzzing with how this team is doing.
Yeah, let's not forget those Wiz Motorsport guys. They practice a lot
20 seconds
in ACC, so they know their stuff very well. So it'll be interesting to see how. So no doubt they're going to be putting on a dominating performance here at Kyalami here this evening.
Yeah, guys, thanks for joining us again, and I hope you enjoy this race at Kyalami. It's a 35-minute race, and we're just about to get underway, and I'll hand you over now to our main commentator, Stuart Brereton.
Thank you very much, Stephen. So let me remind you again that this race is brought to you by pitskill.io, the number one service for all clean racing and league racing alike, which is exactly what this ACC Multiclass Championship is hosted through. It's hosted through pitskill.io. With the championship standings used by a separate server. But keep an eye out there for Gunter DePaul and Stephen Kroll, as well as Alexander Milchin in the Porsche. These guys could look like they could be put on another dominating performance here now as you come up towards the start finish line. Who will get the better of the stars?
Green light. Go, go, go.
Let's go! And I see Alex Milchin to get the cracking start. He's already taken second place on Stephen Kroll, and now he's going to try and take first place on Gunter DePaul. Amazing stuff there. Side by side going to turn one. Alexander Milchin goes around the outside, but one car has gone out into the grass in turn one. DePaul holds his own against Milchin, and now Milchin continues to hold down P2 with Gunter DePaul holding down P first. What's our P1 actually? Now I don't know who's after going off. Oh, there's a spin there. That's a crash. I think that's Eric Courier. Eric Courier that crashed in turn 5 there. I'm not sure what's happened, but already there's that is Eric Courier Oh, what unfortunate. Oh, what must have been horrible there for Courier. He's after doing so well, getting a good start on the throwaway at turn 5. That is absolutely not what any driver wants to experience. But side by side there now between Stephen Kroll. Kroll gets the start. Gets a straight line speed, but Alexander Milchin is continuing to hold his own against his teammate Stephen Kroll.
Yeah, Gunther de Paul's already pulled out a 1.8 second lead on Stephen Kroll and Alex Maitland. Them guys obviously battling, and he'd be looking to get away early here and get a bit of a run ahead of him, get settled in.
Yeah, going to the Paul. He is not wasting any time. He has P1 held down, and he is doing whatever he can. He's holding on to that spot like it's his own life at this point. Heading down now towards the final corner there now, with Gunther de Paul holding down first place. Stephen Kroll's in second place. Alexander Milchin is in third. As we see three to Lamar Courier and Ian May battling for I think it's sixth place there. Sixth place there in the GT3 category, with one of the Genetas there, with the two GT4 cars there, just behind them.
Yeah, Ashim's doing really well here in the GT4. He's even putting it up to the GT3 cars.
Yeah, Ashim, he's holding his own against those two GT3 cars. Great stuff to see there. But I mean, they're on the same lap. I mean, he's on the same lap those GT3, so he's under no obligation to let them through. But I suppose it'd be better to let them through, because he's technically in a slower car than the two GT3 cars ahead. Yeah,
they're all through now, apart from RQR, who that's been early on, but I'm sure Eric will work his way back up through them and take his time. But we'll jump back up to third place here now. We've got Mr. Dackers. He's got past Stephen Baines.
Yep, Dackers there runs a bit wide there, turn 7 there, but he's still holding his own against Dackers there, coming up towards turn 10 and 11, and he's starting to pull away from him.
That looks like a pedo tube you get in an aircraft on the top of that Ferrari there.
Yeah, is it just me, or does that new Ferrari 296 look more like a fire jet on wheels than it does like an actual race car? Because the look of that Ferrari looks very intimidating indeed.
It's a car to be reckoned with now, I must say.
It is indeed, as we see the performance there, especially its real life counterpart. It proved to be a very dominant car in the GT3 category. So here we have right on board there now with Gunther de Paul there now, and that's Milchin has actually gone up to second place there. What's after happening to the other Ferrari? Did he make it? Stephen Kroll still at the back there. Let's get a replay of this now. What's happened here? So here he comes out around the final corner, and did he make a mistake there? And
no, it must have been before that.
It must have been much more further back. I'm not sure what happened, but hopefully we can grab an interview with Stephen Kroll there after this to find out what happened.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. This racing, there's that much action going all over. It's hard to catch it all in one go, but we do our best.
Yeah, I mean, we're only human at the end of the day, so we can only do the best we can. As we see here, it goes to the Paul. He's pulling away there from Alexander Milchin, and now go to the Paul. I think. Oh, no, that's not. That's Stephen Kroll. They're chasing down the other 296 of Stephen Baines there, currently holding down P4 in the GT3 class.
Yeah, these two Ferraris with the two Wiz logos. If you blink, you'd miss it with the numbers on the side. It's all that separates Stephen Kroll and Gunther de Paul. That rhymed there, but yeah, Stephen Kroll hot in Stephen Baines' heels now, and Kroll will be trying to get a high finish here.
No doubt about that. And here is Kroll there, just using just so far managing to hold his own against Baines. Baines is still holding on to P4 in this race. So he's doing so both Ferraris are doing a fantastic job there, keeping the cars on the road, which is really good to see.
Yeah, and Stephen Baines will be trying to reel in Dackers as well, but we might have a bit of action down here in the GT4 action here with Stokes hot on the heels of Herbert Foschel.
Yeah, there's Stokes there now. He's on the rear wing of Foschel there. Remember, the Frosco goes a little bit wide, so that's going to give Stokes the opportunity to keep on the tail end of Frosco ahead, but Frosco's pulling away on the straight. Now, the corners here, we saw it qualify. This Mercedes was fantastic on the corners. Will this, will he be able to use that to his full advantage there now? And Frosco just misses the apex. And there he goes. He's just going down. He's all over. He's slightly all over shot there, but Stokes still remains on his tail. So here on the outside there now, it looks like Stokes is catching Frosco there, heading up towards turn 7 here. And that Mercedes is holding his own against the Janesha in the corners here. The technical section is where this Mercedes will matter the most.
It won't be long before Kyalami comes up on Stokes and maybe gets in between Herbert Frostel and Stokes, and that could make for interesting things if one guy gets held up or put out of his lane.
Don't forget that GT3 of Kyalami. He's on the same lap with those two as those two GT4s. So those two GT4s are under no obligation to let him through. I think it would be a wise decision there to not get involved with the GT3 car, because at the end of the day, Kyalami is driving a much faster car than these two ahead. So I think the wise decision would be to just let him by if they get the chance to do so. And speaking of battles, here is Stephen Baines there now. He's all over the back of Deckard. He goes on the inside. He's removed, but Deckard is spawned. Baines is spawned in turn 1. Oh, he doesn't make it a good move there. Oh, and he nearly clipped the Aston Martin VB. What's happened there now? Can we get it now? I'd be really interested to see what happened there with the replay. So here comes Stephen Baines there. He tries to make a brave move down the inside of Deckard, but he got back in the power way too soon there, and he overestimated the corner, nearly taking out their Ian May. That could have ended catastrophe. That could have been catastrophic there. Unfortunately though, Baines remains in P4 there now with well, actually no, I mean he's going to be dropping down a couple of places, no doubt about that.
I would say Ian May's life flashed in front of his eyes there.
Yeah, it would have been. It was. I thought for a second that it was game over for both those two cars, because that could have resulted in massive amounts of damage there at that corner. And there would have been no doubt some red mist fuming there in the pick garage.
Yep. So Stephen Baines went from being in P4 to now P6 after that incident there, and Ian May has moved up to 5th. Stephen Crowell's in 4th, and Stephen Crowell's hot in the tails here, as you can see, of Dackers, and he's looking to make a move, but Dacker says no. You're not going too wide into the kink.
No, no. The Deckard definitely knows what he's doing there. He's driving that Ferrari to the best of his advantage, and he's doing a fantastic job there, holding up one of the Wiz Motorsports car. I believe that is Steve Crawl. Yeah, that's Steve Crawl. He's doing a fantastic job there, holding out against Steve Crawl there, the more faster Wiz Motorsports Ferrari. On board there now with Eric Courier there now, who's just now on the tail end of Stokes in the GT4 class. So he just has to navigate around these few GT4 cars here, and he'll be on his way then to hopefully get back in contention with the rest of the GT3 field.
Yeah, we all know Eric Courier, he must be having a bit of issues with that Ferrari. He seems to be getting close now and getting into a bit of difficulties, but we'll cut to Dackers here.
Yeah, here's the important battle here now. Deckard versus Crawl. Deckard is still holding out in P3 against Stephen Crawl, but Stephen Crawl is gaining massively on Deckard there. Deckard is getting massive exit speed there now, but here comes Stephen Crawl there now. He's all over the tail end of Deckard. Here they come there now. They're chasing each other there now towards turn 12, turn 13. Crawl looks into the inside. Deckard holds the outside line. And Stephen Crawl finally gets past that Deckard, but no, they're side by side heading towards turn 15. Side by side. Deckard's got a little bit wide, but Crawl gets the place of him. great, fair play to Decars. He did so well holding out against the Wiz Motorsport Ferrari, but I suppose it was only a matter of time in the end to see that Wiz Motorsport Ferrari getting past the other Ferrari of Decars.
Yeah, Decker's done really well to hold off Stephen Crawl for that length of time, but these Wiz Motorsports Ferrari. Oh, he's made a move! Is there a break himself?
Inside by Decars is making a break move down the inside. He did the same thing that Bane's trying to do, only this time he pulled off successfully there. Now things are beginning to hot up here. Now it's on, ladies and gentlemen. Now we have a real fight here for fourth place. Stephen Crawl and Decars there are really fighting out for third place here now. Oh, yeah. What great stuff there from these two. These two obviously have their heads together, and they know what they're doing there now for this race this evening.
Crawl definitely seen him coming in the mirror, and he says, "Go on ahead, son. I'll get you on the switchback." And that's what's happened. And now Crawl has started to pull away on Decars. Now he's about 0.6 or so behind him. Will he get the run up the hill here?
It's a perfect example of racecraft there now, but here comes Decars. He's catching back up to the other Ferrari, Stephen Crawl. This is absolutely great fun to watch. These two Ferraris battling it out with each other for the next 23 minutes or so. Unbelievable stuff here now in Kyalami. These two drivers are very well competent in their knowledge of ACC.
Yeah, Decars wasn't close enough there to do what he crawled on him in the previous lap.
Decars is looking definitely very strong here now in the third sector there now. Oh, he's getting massive amounts of time on Crawl. Crawl seems like he's more fast in the straight line speeds, but Decars, he is definitely catching Crawl in the corners. What an amazing stuff there to see. You can definitely see how those two cars are well set up. Decars has his Ferrari set up for the corners, while Crawl has his car set up there for the straights, and he makes a little mistake on the turn one. And Decars is definitely sniffing an opportunity there now to get ahead of Stephen Crawl. So we ride on board down now with Chris Willis there chasing down the Porsche of Dean Power there, and heading up towards turn 13 at the Crocodiles. And it seems like there now, that Chris Willis there now is definitely doing very well holding onto the tail end of Dean Power there in the Porsche. It's great to see so many of these drivers there battling it out and really their wits been pit against each other. But it seems like they're now the Dean Power here has definitely got a more faster straight line speed against Chris Willis. Chris Willis looks like he's faster around the corners here, but he might be able to make this move stick here at turn one. Is he gaining a little bit of time here? He's gaining a little bit there. He's definitely gotten better exit speed to the Porsche ahead, but I definitely do believe that he will be able to get those corners there. He'll be able to really keep up with the tail end of Dean Power there.
Yeah, this looks like a battle we could keep an eye on down the line a bit as well, but we'll go up to the front of the grid now in the GT4 cars, and Ashim here is just a second behind Herbert Foschel. You know, Ashim here may be thinking, this Ginetta, my Ginetta, there's not much in it. I'll sit tight here, series weakest, series strongest, and then maybe towards the end of the race maybe make a pounce. But again, these guys look like they're playing cat and mouse with each other.
Yeah, it seems. I think Stokes is right when he said that this is definitely more of a Ginetta circuit, because those two Ginettas, they are dominating throughout this entire season. They've been also pretty dominant in this race. They've been dominating this race, but they've been also pretty dominant throughout the entire season in GT4. Because those two Ginettas, they're definitely well optimized for this series, and it shows here now in this race this evening.
To see the big outfit of Stephen Kirk.
Yeah. Did he have an outplay there? Oh, I see it there. He's the driver for this race here now. That's actually really funny to see him taking a driver ed lessons here while he's also racing here in GT4. I hope his driving instructor is okay with that he still remembers the rules of the road. while he's also racing here in this big Alpine there in front of us. And here we have Ian May. He's doing very well, actually keeping up with the Ferrari of Stephen Baines in fifth place ahead.
Takes a wider entry into that, maybe try and get it straightened up for the exit, get a good drive out.
Looks like it there anyway, but Ian May, as you can see, he's doing a fantastic job there at keeping up with the Ferrari 296 ahead. So it just shows that Aston Martin is not been held back by the newer cars whatsoever.
Indeed. Doesn't seem to, just at this level, it's who can make the least mistakes. Oh, and Ian May just went a bit wide there, but he's been able to save it. That's probably cost him a few tenths there, especially in this run down this big straight here in the fast right-hander.
Yeah, and it looks like they're Stephen Baines looks like he's gone a bit wide there at turn 15 and 16 at turn 7 actually there, excuse me. But here is now Ian May there. Well, as you see there now, Stephen Baines is starting to pull away from the Aston Martin of Ian May, but he was doing a good job there, staying on the tail end of the Ferrari 296 there, while he was still in his sights. So here's the race leader there now, comes to Paul. As you can see, he's put up a very dominant performance there. He's 2.2 seconds ahead of Milchin in the Porsche in front. So here he comes there now, about to lap the McLaren of Chris Willis there, who's chasing down the Porsche of Dean Power.
Yeah, and as we've seen in Monza, the GT4s really come into play with the GT3 race lead, and it let the gap, it closed the gap when these guys had to start negotiating a bit of traffic. So he's got past Chris Willis there pretty handy enough, like, but he might get held up coming into this other sector here now. So
here comes Chris. Here comes good Paul there now. About to go down the inside of the Porsche ahead of Dean Power.
Yeah, and he looks like he's got past him pretty handy. Let's see if Alex Milchin can get past as well.
Yeah, Milchin also gets past the McLaren there of Dean Power there with ease. So it seems like now these.
As you can see there, Dean Power getting the blue flag waved by the marshal.
Yeah, it looks like he's definitely been. It looks like that Porsche now is definitely held up there. Alex Milchin a bit there now, so that means Gunther Paul is going to have much more breathing room there now as he continues down P1 ahead of him.
Yeah, that was a brave move by Alex to sand it down into that fast kink there. That could have ended in disaster for him, but he's got it sorted, and we'll jump on to Ian May now, who is within striking distance of Stephen Baines.
He's in striking distance of Stephen Baines ahead. Now, did Baines make a little mistake there, or has Ian May just got the faster car there in that particular section? But here comes there now across the start finish there line. Stephen Baines is in Ian May's sight. He just got to stay on the rear wing of the Ferrari in order to maintain the gap ahead.
Yeah, big brakes, these big Brembo brakes. I'm sure the carbon fiber, they'll be red hot.
Yeah, you can see that Ian May is pushing it massively there at turn 5 there. I think it was.
Yeah, the front engine car will turn in a lot better, but getting the power down's the issue. And you've got the well-balanced machine of the Ferrari here.
Yeah, I think that's definitely more of a mid-engine, a rear mid. And the team Ian May there and get the tail end of the Aston Martin out there. But fortunately, though, however, Ian May continues to maintain his position of of P6 there.
Yeah, I had a squeaky bum moment there, and we'll maybe see if I can catch this again here. Here we go. Whoa!
Yeah. Oh, I think he was pushing just a little too hard there. Coming into I think that was turn 7 at Clubhouse. But either way, it just shows that he is trying very hard to keep up with the likes of Stephen Baines, who's in a much faster car than Ian May is. But it just shows that it's not always the car. It's always down to the driver.
A shame and Fossil still playing cat and mouse with each other here in these Genettas. Nothing between them.
Yeah, the two Genettas there are still battling out in first and second place there. As we can see there, Ashim there really starting to keep up with the tail end of Froskull there. Yeah, the Genettas have been very dominating throughout this entire race. And with only 13 minutes and 20 seconds to go, it looks like that the Genettas could be coming back with first and second place. Into Clubhouse we go. This left-hander here there now at the Crocodile, excuse me. He goes with slightly wider Crocodiles, but no, Froskull there continues to maintain his dominance in this GT4 category. And so it looks like it looks like Ashim is faster than Froskull there on the turns, but I think Froskull there has the more straight line speed.
Yeah, there was literally nothing in their last lap between each other there, less than a tenth of a second in their lap time. And even their best lap times, you know, there's 3/10 in it, so there's nothing between these guys at all.
No.
Oh,
no,
we've had movement.
That's Stephen Baines! Stephen Baines is after spinning off somewhere! Now, what's happened here there now? This is the second time he's made a mistake here against the likes of Ian May. Now, what happened here is, once again, he spun off at the Crocodiles. And that means Ian May will be promoted up into P5, while Stephen Baines gets dropped down position down to P6 there. So now the fight's on here there now. Will Ian May be able to hold up against this Ferrari in the Porsche ahead? In the Aston Martin ahead of him, excuse me.
Yeah, Ian May rubbing his fingers there, and I don't know, Stephen Baines maybe having tire issues, or maybe the brake bias sat too far back and he just got it all wrong there.
It's very hard to tell here, but it looks like it could be a bit of a tire degradation issue from the likes of Stephen Baines, but he's doing okay here now. He's still on the tail end of the Aston Martin, so it'll be interesting to see how he comes back. And there is the race leader of Gunther de Paul. I think they're now on the tail end of these GT4 cars.
Yeah, seeing Stephen Kirk in the background there, he's getting out of the way. He said, I don't want any part of it.
No, I mean, he's running in 15, he's running in last place in the GT4 class, so he's got pretty much nothing to lose now at this point. But now as we see here is Ashim and Froskull there now. Ashim is on the tail end of Froskull there. Froskull but what about this GT3 of Gunther de Paul? Is he going to upset the two Genettas a bit there? He goes down the inside. Now, is this going to hold up the Genettas? No, not too much, but here's Gunther de Paul trying to negotiate his way around these GT4s. Goes down the inside, and there he goes. So that's the first Genetta negotiate. Now, de Paul just has to negotiate against this other GT4 of Froskull ahead of him.
Yeah, I think Ashim lost out there slightly, but it is what it is. That's multi-class racing.
It is. And that's the unfortunate thing, that if you do go up against a faster or slower class car, you are bound to lose a little bit of time there.
But he looks like he's back on him again, so...
So here he comes there now. So now it looks like the Genetta of Ashim here. He definitely looks like he's gaining time on the on Frosco ahead of them after going to Paul negotiated his way around them.
And as you can see, two totally different racing lines.
Yeah, they're starting to get creative with their racing lines there now. And as Frosco there now stays to the outside, while Ashim tries to go for the inside line there, but no. Ashim decides that he's gonna stay at the back there.
That was an interesting line into that corner by Ashim, and he's run wide here, but like you seen the way he took that corner where Foshel took a wide line, the natural racing line, and he didn't look any slower.
Indeed, it looks like these two cars are on similar pace towards each other. They've been pretty much fighting it out for the last 35 minutes now. So it's interesting. So it'll be interesting to see there now. But Alexander Milton has held up the Janela Fosco a little bit, and that's going to give Ashim the opportunity to try and get past him.
Yeah, it almost looked like the Janela was quicker through that corner than the GT3 Porsche there, but it's just obviously the power when it comes to getting the power down, the Porsche has it. But in terms of mechanical grip, it looked like it was even quicker through the corner.
Yeah, and here comes Ashim there now. Oh, he is gaining massive amount of time on Frosco. Frosco there is defending desperately against Ashim here, but Ashim looks like and Frosco's gone inside wide. That means Ashim is going to gain massive amount of time on Frosco. Frosco tries to go down the outside there, but no, he's
looking for the switchback.
He's definitely looking for that switchback there. He says tucked in behind Frosco. Frosco there is really starting to is really put under pressure now by Ashim. Ashim tries to look at the inside and he goes with the move. Frosco gives it the room needed for racing room, and Ashim gets the move done. But watch out for Frosco. He's good. Try to fight back here at the mines, but no. Ashim still holds on to P1 and GT4 with Frosco there now chasing him down.
Yeah, Frosco a bit of rubbing there when Ashim got past him there. He gave him a wee nudge to say, "I'm still here, you boy. I'll be here to the end of the race, and don't you even think about it pulling away because I'm not letting you get away."
Yeah, that's a classic textbook touring car maneuver there, where you can just give someone just that little bit of a wee nudge. And just to really push them to their limits,
just to let them know you're there and you're not going anywhere.
No, exactly. That is a classic textbook touring car maneuver there. And here is Frosco there, definitely starting to stay on the tail end of Ashim.
Yeah, let's see how Ashim copes with the pressure now of Herbert Foshel chasing him down.
Frosco there looks like he's doing a great job staying on the tail end of Ashim. Ashim there tries to defend to the inside. Frosco looks on the outside there, but no, Ashim is starting to pull away from Frosco there now, while Ashim is doing a fantastic job defending P1.
Yeah, this is where all the battles are at the minute, folks. It's just all in GT4 between these two warriors, Ashim and Herbert Foshel. Ashim looks like he's opened a small gap on Herbert.
Yeah, and it looks like Ashim has definitely got the is in clean air now. So he will do whatever it takes there to get the position of to maintain first place in GT4. With 5 minutes and 20 seconds to go, there's still lots to play for here in this ACC Multi-Class Championship race. And as we see here, there is Ian May now tracing up against Delamara. Now,
yeah,
what happened?
Ian May must have had a spin somewhere. Unfortunately, I was too busy watching the GT4 racing there, so we didn't get to see what happened.
Yeah, but it looks like that now he's battling against the newcomer Delamara there in the Porsche ahead of him. So that's another battle I'd love to keep an eye on myself. Now that was the two Wiz Motorsport cars there. But watch this here now. There's Delamara there. and EMA Racing, or is that one of the GT? Oh no, it's her, Frosco, and Shane going side by side, and Shane goes Frosco. Frosco gets and Frosco then gets ahead of a Shane. Great stuff there from the two GT4 Genesis. They did it. They're doing. Honestly, this battle between these two Genesis, it's really fantastic to see.
Yeah, Seamus got back in front of Herbert Foschel there, but we must have missed it just when we went back to try and catch EMA. You don't take your eyes of these guys.
No, let's not keep our eye on the GT4 class too much. But this battle here is definitely really heating up here now in this GT4 lead. These GT4s are putting up a tremendous amount of entertainment here.
Absolutely, that's why the Nigel O'Brien wanted to switch to GT4s, because that's where all the action was, and you know, the slower car offers better maybe door-to-door racing, and this is just proven why.
Yeah, I can definitely see Nigel O'Brien's point there now in his interview at Silverstone.
And Ian
where
May
these GT4 cars. And here's Ian May going up against Delamara. May goes around the outside of Delamara, but Delamara decides no to that.
He shuts the door.
Shuts the door on EMA, and there is Delamara there, still holding down the old Aston Martin of EMA just behind him. But EMA is looking down the inside. There's Stephen Kirk there in the Alpine ahead. See, Kirk goes wide there at chicane at turn 7 in Clubhouse. Obviously to try turn 13 at Crocodiles, actually. Obviously to get out of the way of this GT3 battle here.
Great stuff being made.
Yeah, and Delamara, it looks like he's doing a fantastic job for his first race here in the GT4 in the ACC in the Potato Nation Series. He's doing a fantastic job. But let's not forget about these two guys here, Frosco and Ashim here. They've been battling each other there now for nearly the last 32 minutes.
Yeah, I would say pretty much the whole race. These guys have been at it like I need a drink after this.
Yeah, same here. I might need to lie down after this race, because these two GT4s are honestly been battling each other. As you say, Stephen, they've been battling each other for the whole race, and it honestly nearly gets so tiring watching them because of all the entertainment that's happening. Yeah,
your race leader there, Gunter de Paul, has put in a fastest lap of the race of a 1:42.9. That guy is on it, and he is 9 seconds ahead of Alex Milchin in P2.
Yeah, and it looks like Gunter de Paul once again proving that he is in control of this race here. As we see here, I can see in the Ferrari. I believe that is Eric Couillard there. Trying to get past, trying to negotiate around these two, Just but no, I think Shane tried to look at the outside, but that's left him vulnerable to Frosco on the inside. Frosco and Shane are racing toe to toe with each other, and Shane decides, Shane's set ahead of him.
Oh, Shane's went a bit wide there though.
Frosco looks around the outside there now, side by side, heading up towards turn 6 at Sunset. Going into Sunset there now. Frosco gonna get the book around the outside. Side by side, head up towards turn 7 at Clubhouse. And Frosco looks like he's gonna get ahead of a Shane and take first place. The GT, but now Shane fights back. They fight back at turn 7, and he's still holding on the first place. What is going on here? These GT4s are continuously at each other's throats here. It's very hard. It's unpredictable. It's very hard to predict what's going to happen next between these two. This is racing. This is what we came to see.
There's on final lap now.
This is what also diehard motorsport fans have came to see. Pure all-out balls-to-the-wall racing between these two Genesis. But let's keep an eye on Gunter de Paul now, because if I'm correct, this could be the last lap of the race.
And you know what I'm thinking, Stuart? I think a Genetic Cup sounds like it should be the next ACC Potato Nation race.
It should be, yeah. But we're on the final lap here now, so let's check in with Gunter de Paul and see whereabouts is he on the track. Because I want to announce him, because we'd be interested in announcing him as the race winner.
Yep.
There he is there now. Gunter de Paul, he has put up a dominating victory now. He's just coming around turn 7 here now. But let's not count out the GT4 class there. They're still backing away there. And here's Stephen Baines. They're trying to trying to negotiate the two GT4s. Frosco there looks around the outside of the machine. But no, he swings back. Oh! And Stephen Bates! Frosco crashes in the back of Stephen Bates! And it's in the exact same corner again! Oh no, Stephen Bates he just has no look at that corner there. Oh my god, this is absolutely hectic stuff. The boat driver, they're feeling the pressure here now. This is absolutely unpredictable stuff I'm seeing here.
Oh, I can't take our eyes off these two.
No, but let's not forget about Guns to Paul there now. I wonder whereabouts he's on the track. He's just negotiating around the final few corners here now. So we'll just wait for him to cross the finish line here now, and then we'll go back to the GT4 class, folks. I promise you. He comes around the final corner here now, and after a quiet race to the GT3 class, go to the pole. We'll take victory in round 4 of the ACC.
The leader has finished the race.
World Class Championship. Great stuff there for going to Paul. But let's not forget about the GT4 class. How are they doing? And it looks like in front. Ashame is in the front. Frosco's pulling away from Ashame. Frosco and Ashame is now diving. It's breaking very late there now. Heading up towards the crocodiles. But let's not forget about this player Stephen Bates once again trying to negotiate these GT4 cars. Bates decided he's going to hold back here now. He decided he wants no part of this whatsoever. Now here we come down the last few corners, and it's neck to neck. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Ashame sent ahead. Frosco looks like he's pulling away. I think he only has one last chance here. Frosco has only one last chance to make move stick. But no, he's overshot the corner in the end. Oh, and Frosco got wide. Ashame takes GT4 victory for round 4 of the Kyalami, for the round 4 of the World Class Championship here at Kyalami. Oh my God, that was just fantastic.
Herbert Frosco with the win at GT4.
Herbert Frosco. Oh my God, I was on the edge of my seat there. That is probably a battle that's going to go down in history there now. The two Janashas we're going toe to toe with each other for the last 35 minutes, and this is the big climax at the end of it. In the end, there can only be one winner, and that is Herbert Frosco. Fantastic stuff there we saw here this evening here in Kyalami. I am definitely looking forward to the interviews here today.
Absolutely, and we will get a wee quick chat with the guys in a minute, folks. But I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to see what happened. Ashame on the grass. Was it Ashame on the grass or Herbert Frosco on the grass?
Yeah, I seen Ashame there on the grass there.
Let's get a look at that, shall we? That was the last lap. So
yeah, so here was I think this was Frosco there. I think this is Ashame or Frosco there battling side by side with each other here.
Yeah, this is the final lap.
They're on. Yeah. So here they were on the tail ends of each other here, and there was Stephen. Obviously, they were facing a lot of pressure from the GT3 of Stephen Baines. Now, did this GT3 have any influence on? Oh, and the GT3 Stephen Baines spins off again there. Goodness me, Stephen Baines is just having no luck here in Kyalami today. Now, I think this was where Frosco went. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh, he just caught the wheel there at the back. Just caught the grass there, and that's what lost him out. The victory in the end. It was Ashame who took a GT4 victory, and Frosco there finishing in second. No, it was Frosco there actually finished in first place, and Ashame who finished second. So we'll look to see if we can grab an interview with both Gunja Paul first, and then Herbert Frosco there in GT4 class.
What a race!
What a fantastic racing there, Steve. I am sweating up here in the commentary box. That is probably one of the best finishes I've seen in the entire history of the Potato Nation GT Multi-Class Championship. So before we grab interviews, let's remind you of all the results. Go to Paul is your race winner, with Mielchin in second place, Crawl third, Deckars fourth, Baines fifth, Delamar is sixth, EMA is seventh, and Eric Courier finishes in eighth place. For GT4, your winner Herbert Frosco, with Ashame taking second place. Stokes did a fantastic job with that Mercedes. He finishes in third place, with I believe that the Porsche of Dean Power finishing in fourth place. Chris Wills finished in 5th, Nigel Bryan 6th, and Stephen Kirk rounds up the entire grid in 7th place of the GT4
Green
class.
light, show them.
So with those results being announced, we'll just wait for Gunter DePaul and Herbert Frosco to make their way into the commentary box, so we can find out how their race went throughout this this evening.
Absolutely. Stuart, do you want to go into the race chat and see if you can go and grab them there, and maybe get Alex to drag them down for us?
Yeah. Okay.
What a race, folks. What a race. That was fantastic. Oh.
What you got?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am back, and I'm joined now by Gunter DePaul and Herbert Frosco. Let's hear from our GT3 winner first, Gunter DePaul. Gunter, welcome.
Hey guys, hey, hello.
Gunter, congratulations on your victory. Once again, you proved that you were very dominant in that Ferrari 296 there.
Yeah, thanks. It was a very good race for me. Not much competition today. Yeah, not much to say else, I think. It was
pretty straightforward race for you, Gunter.
Quite lonely, to be honest, GT3 wise. But yeah, this is the nice part, at least with the multi-class. I think if you happen to be faster than most drivers, let's say, at least you have the GT4s that add some spice to the racing. Make it less dull. So yeah, overall I'm pretty happy. Can't complain for sure.
All right, well, let's talk about the start of the race there, because it looks like there that Alexander Milchin had a fantastic start there. Do you thought maybe at the start that you looked like you were probably going to be battling him for throughout the entire race, or?
Yeah, I was expecting actually to have Alex on my tail. So I was quite surprised to see that he was not keeping up as much as I expected, but. Well, I'm not gonna cry about that, of course. But yes,
okay, no.
The Porsche is very fast off the line for sure. I'm always struggling to fight Alex, especially at the race start, and I hope he keeps doing that, because it makes the racing a lot more fun, for sure.
Exactly. And Steve, have you got any questions for Gunter DePaul there? Or
no, just pretty much a good race, Gunter. Hopefully, maybe next week you might get a few more battles from Alex Milchin and Stephen Krall. Them boys weren't on it today, unfortunately.
I'm sure if the guys have a bit more luck, let's say, in the first couple of laps, they can give me a run for my money for sure. So,
yeah,
I'm not expecting to be in the lead like this every race, if being in the lead at all, to be honest. I was quite surprised to be the fastest today, especially since usually at Kyalami the Porsche is quite strong. So I was honestly expecting Alex to take pole, but I think I got lucky and he didn't get to practice a lot this week, so yeah.
As you were saying, it got spicy there when the GT3 cars or the GT3 cars are chasing into the GT4 cars, and that will bring us nicely into our chat with Herbert Foschel, who was our GT4 winner. And Herbert, talk us through them last few laps.
Hello. Yeah, well, the last 2 laps, we shout out to Ruben. We both were a bit inconsistent right away, and the whole race kinda fighting with some GT4s on certain corners was also not so easy, especially if you don't really know how and where they brake if they are new to the track. I had trouble from the beginning, kinda. The car felt a little off. I got damaged. I don't know if it was that. But yeah, the downhill, the hairpin at the bottom was an issue for me. He overtook me there fair and square twice, I think. And I had to use the traffic mostly to get back. And the last lap was, yeah, it would have been a clean overtake on the last first corner of the last lap. But again, that's still slow. GT3 braking way earlier than is needed. Yeah, that was contact.
Yeah, we seen that bit of contact there. It was unfortunate, but I think he's done the right thing and just kept going. The GT3 cars, there's nobody near them. They didn't need to be in there. They didn't need to mess with the GT4 racing, I thought. And
you never know.
Yeah, I could understand it if it's somebody hot in their heels, but they'd plenty of space. But that's racing. That's multi-class, I suppose.
Yeah, it was fun, but more frustrated with myself than anything else. Too many mistakes.
But Herbert, we saw you there. Up of the commentary box, and we were shouting as well. We were shouting at the top of our lungs there with your battle with the battle against Ashim, and it looked like there you were facing massive pressure from the GT3 cars. Could you talk us through with that?
You mean when the GT3 arrive at an inopportune time?
Yeah.
Or do you...
Yeah. So let's talk about the incident like with Steve Baines there. He was putting you and Ashim under massive pressure there when you two were battling it out with each other.
The last lap?
In the last lap, but also the other lap before then in the closing laps.
It happened so much I don't even remember everything.
Yeah. But no, either way, Herbert, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it was a fantastic race. That race honestly could have went either way.
Yeah, he surprised me. He was really fast.
That was good. Now, yeah, I'm happy enough there, Stuart. Do you have
I'm happy
anything
enough
more
with my
to add?
questions. No, I think that's everything. Just want to say, Gunther, congratulations on your win, and especially to Herbert here, congratulations on your win. You deserve that. You deserve that, especially after a very sweaty victory there against Ashim there in the GT4 class. So, thank you, lads, for joining us in the commentary box, and we'll let you get back to your friends here in the race chat.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Chad.
No problem. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Oh, what a race, Stuart.
It is indeed. I mean, I am honestly sweating after that. So if there's nothing else, left to say or do, I think we can happily finish the live stream there. A big shout. Oh, before we go, let's give a big shout out there to Stephen Kirk, who said he had a nightmare of a race. I mean, Stephen, you were driving. You didn't have a nightmare of a race as such. I mean, you kept the car on the road, so that's the important thing, man.
Yeah, man. It's all about taking part, and that's what most of us. We can't all win races, you know.
No, of course not.
But we've got to be in it to win it. You know, if you're not racing, you're not having fun, and it's all about the potato nation and having a crack with the lads.
Exactly, you're right there. So with that being said, I think that's we can definitely wrap up the everything here. This has been your commentator, Stuart Brereton, and my good friend Stephen Mullen. We will leave you now with this. We will leave you now after this pretty sweaty climactic victory here from the GT4 class.
Thanks,
Join us
guys.
again next time for next week, which we will be going to for round 5, where the next race will be taking place. I believe that's in. It's in the world-renowned Imola. Fortunately, this is a simulator, so we won't be held back by it. But so no floods will be stopping us from racing at Imola. Would you agree, Steve?
I agree, and let's bring it on. That should be another fantastic race. There's a lot of mod sectors in that circuit. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep. Let's hope that the bank holiday weekend bring us some racing action. But until then, guys, thank you to everyone who's joined us for this live stream session. We'll see you all again for next week. This has been Stuart Brereton, your commentator, and my good friend Stephen Mullen. We're signing out now. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Until then, goodbye.
Goodbye.